So this exclusive event is organized by Mission Entertainment and Nepal Center International, and we are glad to see distinguished guests, personality, journalists from our Nepali community right here at Hotel Himalaya. Thank you for your presence once again. My name is Binod Pokhrel, and luckily I'm your host for this evening. Let's begin the formal introduction of our guests who are already seated on the stage. So let me begin with our special guest for tonight. We'll have some Q&A with the media as well. Before that, it's time to listen from the man of the moment, the man who is here to witness Nepal, Nepalese heart, Nepalese culture, Nepal tourism, and we can call him our dear friend now. And we have known Salman Khan. We are big fans of Salman Khan, most of us, and equally as handsome as Salman Khan is, on a lighter note. And it was wonderful welcoming him in the airport this morning, and on a very short notice we have managed this event, so we actually apologize for some errors in the management, so I think we can understand that. So let's hear from the man himself, Honorable Mr. Salman Bhojani, the Texas State Representative, and who is here as our special guest tonight. Please.
मेरो नाम सलमान बोजानी हो। माँ टेक्सास राज्य को संसद हो। Sorry, I'm a little jet lagged right now. So, हुजूर हरुले लाई बे इतेरा खुशी लाग्यो. That's all the Nepali I know. Thank you so much for inviting me here. Mission, the company Mission Entertainment, Roger Nepal, as well as Bhim Prasad Wagle, BP, Mr. BP the Dai, and then we've got Binod as well, Dr. Saab, Dineshi, all Deepak, and all Suresh the Dai. Really honored to be here. I just come this morning. Like I said, I'm a little bit jet lagged, and it's been really amazing to know all the Nepali community in Texas. And so this is my first time in Nepal, and it's a great event here with the launch of this beautiful song. And I want to sort of promote that more when I get back to Texas and see what kind of great work that Nepali community is doing in Nepal for the entire United States and entire world. I do agree with Suresh Dai that I think it's important to do it in English, because a lot of kids are Nepalese. They're growing up in United States, Canada, other parts of the world. English is a common language that binds everybody together. So if we really want to, incorporate the Nepali culture in the young kids, I think it's important to have it in English as well, or at least have English subtitles, because that would be, at least they can read. Like my kids, they're born in America. They speak a little bit, Hindi, Urdu, a little bit Gujarati, but they love subtitles. They can watch all Hindi movies with no problem if they have subtitles. Subtitles would be helpful as well. But it's a really beautiful song, and I'm really honored to be unveiling this particular album or CD here. And it's really amazing that the Nepali community does a lot of cultural things, not just here, but in America. I'll give you an example. So in order to run for election, I don't know how it's here, but you have to knock on people's doors and ask them for their vote. So when I was running for Euless City Council, I would knock on doors and I would see, two gamlas or pots right next to the door, and then all the chappals and all the shoes outside the door, and then I would see, I think a snake, sap, a picture of that in the front. So I would know this is a Nepali home, right? And so I would introduce myself, namaskar, and sort of try to talk to. But that's how I know. Mero naam Salman Bhojani ho, because I did a TikTok I did a lot of different things. I said, Malai jitao no, vote karnos, Malai support karnos, all that kind of stuff I learned. But it's a really great community because there's a lot of cultural value, and without culture, who are we? We're nobody, right? We're just regular human beings without culture. And so cultural things are so important. An amazing performance by both of you kids. I think we need to promote that more often. And I hope you can share that with more kids. It's so important to take part in cultural values early on, and hope you can continue doing that. I'll quickly tell you a little bit about myself, and then how we can promote tourism. So I was born in Pakistan, like Vinodji mentioned, and I moved to America when I was 19 years old. And at that time, I remember my dad saying 100 rupees in Pakistan was $1. So if you think about like how difficult that journey was for us, when we were leaving, there was like tire jam, or there was traffic, and there was a lot of like people are burning tires. And so I was so happy to leave and be part of a really more industrialized nation, the United States. But when we got there, it was a surprise to us that it's so much struggle in the United States. And everybody goes through that. You must know all your family that are in the United States. So I used to work at gas stations, mopping floors, cleaning restrooms, and stocking shelves for $6 an hour. And I had to work 3 jobs and 80 hours a week in order to put food on the table with my family. And it was a really difficult journey, but I think everybody that goes through that struggle comes out very strong ahead after that they've overcome that. So my story is like Vinod said, is American dream story, but it's also about how an immigrant comes to a different country, different language, different culture, different jobs, and be able to succeed. And then after being the cashier, then became manager, and then bought my first gas station in 2003. And then I had 8 gas stations when I thought about going to law school. And it's so important that when you have something, when you accomplish something, you have to go back to school. Schooling is also really important, which I think Nepali, they're really good about, right? They're always studying, and there are a lot of journalists, and there are a lot of media and poets and all that. So it's really good that your community values those kind of things. And so my father valued as well. So I went back to law school. In the morning, 6 a.m. to 5 p.m., I went to gas stations. And then from 6 p.m. to 10 p.m., I went to SMU Law School, read thick law school books. And after 4 long years, I became an attorney. And then I worked at a large law firm where I was practicing law with some of the brightest legal minds in the country. And so I learned law with them. And then I started my own practice. And then until 2016, when we elected a former president in the United States, I did not get involved politically. But when he got elected, I don't want to take his name, but when he got elected, he was saying so many mean things, hateful things to immigrants, to Muslims and to South Asians. So I felt that's not the right direction for America. We want to make sure that America is a land of opportunity. It opens its arms and says, come to me and work hard and make the money. And that's what I did. And this person that was elected was saying so many mean things. So I said, somebody has to represent us at the table. Because when you don't have a seat at the table, then who's going to fight for you, right? So that's what I ran for city council, and that's one of my first exposure in 2017 with the Nepali community. And I knocked on their doors, I made them come out, and they came out. They understand. The Nepali community is amazing about being involved in civic duties, and I really like that, and I hope that continues on. So then I didn't win in 2017. I lost by 260 votes. It hurt a lot because the ULIS has a population of 60,000 people. And I lost by only 260 votes. 2018, I started again doing the same thing. And this time I won, but I won only by 37 votes. So when people say that every vote matters, that you have to go out and vote, I'm a living example of that. If 37 people stayed home that day, I would not be elected today. So it's so important, and I'm glad that I won there. I became the first minority ever elected in the history of the city to the ULIS City Council. And then I became the mayor pro tem in 2020. And then 2022, last year, I knocked on 45,000 doors. Not just the Nepali community, but a lot of other community members. And then I said that I got 58% of the votes and beat everybody in the election by a long margin, and became the first South Asian and the first Muslim ever elected in the history of the state of Texas. But it's so important to have your voices heard. So continue doing that and promoting. Whenever I speak, I try to tell the youth that you need to run for office because we need different perspectives. For example, in the State House, when I got elected, I filed a bill that says Dussehra should be a state holiday in the state of Texas. Why not, right? There's so many people in there, but it didn't get passed this time around, but I'll try it next time because there's still a lot of hatred towards the brown people and other kind of minority communities. But I'll continue to fight that for them. Next bill I filed was that in the Shera, people should not give exams in schools, because whether you go to the Shera or you go to school, how do you pick? Right? Sometimes it happens in different times, and so I filed a bill that the Shera, Eid, Diwali, all the religious holidays, you should not give exams to kids, so they don't have to choose between practicing their faith and then going to school. And that got passed. So right now, the Shera or any kind of Diwali, we will not have any exams in the state of Texas. And so those are the kind of things that we want to promote, because it is our perspective, our values that we bring to United States, and how do we make sure that that gets implemented in United States. Another thing is I want to end with this tourism is so important. 2 years ago, I went to Pakistan and climbed Mount Everest base camp. Naga Parbat base camp. That was the 9th tallest mountain in the world. And so even there, I saw so many people, like so many Americans, Canadians, people from UK climbing the mountain. So I told them the same thing that I'm telling you. You have a really amazing opportunity right here in the heart of Kathmandu, right in the heart of Nepal, where people from all over the world are coming to cherish and have a really amazing moment in Everest. Whether you go to the summit or you go to the base camp, you have to go through Kathmandu. So this is the time where you can really start new businesses. I know there are guides, I know there are porters, but there are new businesses, how to really promote the culture and tourism of Nepal to those people. Because when they hire somebody and then they leave, there is no connection afterward. But if there is an organization like maybe Mission Entertainment or some other organization that keeps in touch with them, so when they go back to their countries, then we can continue to give them Nepali language, Nepali culture, and kind of feed them that and say, come back. Maybe come back with your family. Like I would love to come back with my family. I'm here right now with my friends, but next time I come, I'll come with family, so that way we can give them that opportunity as well. So tourism is really important, and it can really boost our economy in Nepal. And this is only in Nepal that you can find this. You cannot pick up Mount Everest and put it in America, right? So this is a very unique thing. Doesn't matter, however, the political situation is in Nepal, Mount Everest will stay in Nepal. And that is a source of a lot of inspiration for people. There's a source. I mean, I'm going there to be in peace with the world. Because when we're going about in the hustle bustle of the world, every day we're not listening to our bodies. We're just looking, oh, what am I supposed to do next? What did I do yesterday or whatnot? We're not living in the moment. But when we're in the mountain, the nature is speaking to us. And that is how you can really promote not just Nepal, but then Everest and all the other tourism industries here. And I look forward to doing that more when I get back in the United States and making sure that other Nepali community knows. And I really appreciate BPG and all the other people, Vinod ji for doing this, organizing this event, and for Roger Nepal as well, the chairman of Mission Entertainment, to really organize this event. And this is really amazing for me. It seems like I will be climbing Mount Everest with all of you. I will have everybody in mind when I climb Mount Everest base camp. And I also bought the topi. What do you call it? What kind of topi? The Dhaka topi. I was wearing that in the airport as well. And so I'll bring that with me to the Mount Everest base camp, and I'll wear that and then take a picture to show all the Nepali community that I'm with the Nepali community. And if there's anything that I could do, like if you have family members in America, let them know to reach out to me. I would love to help them as much as possible, because we have a lot of resources in the state of Texas. Maybe the state of Texas can do a joint venture with the Nepali community here, how to promote tourism from Texas. Because there are a lot of people that travel from Texas, but there's no coordination. We can try to coordinate it. But even if you want to go to United States, and if there's any help that I can provide from the state government, we have a lot of resources. Texas, if it was a separate country, it would be the 9th largest economy in the world. 9th largest. So there's so many other countries that are smaller in economy than the state of Texas. So we do a lot of business worldwide. Why not do business with Nepal? So there's a lot of synergies together. I just want to be able to help everybody and try to, that is my goal as in public service. I'm not doing this for myself, I'm doing this for the community. And Nepali community is I have a soft corner for the Nepali community, and anything I can do for you, please let me know. Namaste.
We have some distinguished guests from media, journalism field. If you have any questions to our special guest tonight, Mr. Salman Bhojani, you may come forward and ask 3 questions if you have any. I think the concept of the program is, I guess, clear by now. So the theme of the tourism, the song, and its motive to help Nepali community. So if you have any questions, any queries?
अब प्रश्न त नभनौँ जिज्ञासा खास गरी यहाँ टेक्सास राज्यमा चाहिँ जो आफ्नो भूमिकामा हुनुहुन्छ त्यो भूमिकामा रहँदाखेरि चाहिँ त्यो टेक्सास राज्यमा भएका नेपालीहरूको समस्या र कठिनाइहरू कस्तो कस्तो पाउनु भएको छ कृपया बताइदिनुस् न
Okay, so he meant to say, so what are the difficulties, problems faced by the Nepali community in the Texas? So yeah, please.
I started the quarterly meeting with Nepali community. I said the Nepali community should meet the city council because a lot of time when we invite people, they don't show up. So we went and met with them on a quarterly basis and said, what are the issues that you have? So they gave us two issues. They said one issue is our senior citizens, our elderly people cannot speak English. I'll hold it, it's okay. So senior citizens cannot speak English. So they need translation services from Nepali to English. And then the second problem they said is there are a lot of women who need jobs for the Nepali community. So what can the city do for the Nepali community? So the city cannot directly help, but what we did is we worked with a non-profit. It's called Catholic Charities. And Catholic Charities usually help Caucasian people and other people as well, minorities. So, but they didn't know about Nepali community because Nepali community was not reaching out to them. But when I got elected, that's when I made them sit on the table so that they have a seat. And when they have a seat, they gave me these two issues. So Catholic Charities hired 2 Nepalese women from ULIS and gave free interpreting services to the Nepalese community, English to Nepalese and Nepalese to English. So the two problems were solved that way. And I tell you that elected officials want to meet with their constituents. Elected officials want to help people. But usually, like the Nepali community and other issues, they don't talk too much with elected officials. We want to do more. So that way we can help them and their state has even more resources. So one other thing that we're doing is we're doing NST, Nepali Society of Texas. I think Nepali Society of Texas is doing a cultural building in ULIS only for Nepali culture. So when I was on city council in 2020 or 2021, I approved that. That was also helpful. So we need to celebrate that culture, not for Nepali only, for Americans, so they can see what Nepali culture is all about. Because not everybody's going to come like me to Nepal. So how can we talk to them in English and have a cultural center where we can showcase Nepali center? And that's what we're doing. So those are some of the things that we worked on to help out.